Love must be without hypocrisy. Detest evil. Cling to what is good. Show family affection to one another with brotherly love. Outdo one another in showing honor. Do not lack diligence. Be fervent in spirit. Serve the Lord. Rejoice in hope. Be patient in affliction. Be persistent in prayer. Share with the saints in their needs. Pursue hospitality. Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Weep with those who weep. Be agreement with one another. Do not be proud. Instead, associate with the humble. Do not be wise in your own estimation. Do not repay anyone evil for evil. Try to do what is honorable in everyone's eyes. If possible, on your part, live at peace with everyone. Friends, do not avenge yourselves. Instead, leave room for his wrath, for it is written, vengeance belongs to me. I will repay, says the Lord. But if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him something to drink, for in so doing you will be heaping fiery coals on his head. And do not be conquered by evil, but conquer evil with good. I think this is an important passage here, and I think Paul has something to tell us even in our plight today. I know that most of you may not know that we are in the month of Ramadan. That's why this tragedy that we see in Florida is shocking to many Muslims as well as the general public, because to see something like this happening in the holiest month for them is unsettling for many, many Muslim people. And that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about tonight. This issue specifically more is Muslims attacked a group who has been in the spotlight in the last few years for their legal assaults on Christians. So you have the LGBT community, the homosexual community, who over the past 3 to 5 years, I mean, you know the story, bakers and bed and breakfast clubs and photographers and florists being sued, being like driven to bankruptcy by activists who have been going after Christians, right? And this is, and we react to this. And so now you have radicalized Muslims, terrorists, come in and start killing folks in the LGBT community. And now we say, as Christians, we say, well, what do we do with all of this? Well, I'll tell you what we do with all of this. First and foremost, as Christians, we should recognize that each and every person is made in the image of God, bears the image of God, and the image of God gives them an inherent worth and value far above any political posturing. This is not the time to gloat or to say this and that. Paul says we should pray for those who persecute you. Paul says we should overcome evil by doing good. This is the Christian response. And by the way, this is the distinction between the Christian and the world. If an active LGBT, activist is facing down the barrel of a gun, would you love him enough to perhaps step in front of that bullet for him as a child of God? Would that make a bigger impression on that community than, say, protesting a store that's maybe aligning themselves with such an action or something like that? If these folks, these people bear God's image, then they deserve our protection, they deserve our love, they deserve our willingness to overcome evil with good, to pray for them, to do good as much as you can see it. That's hard. That's hard. But this is one of the things that separates Christianity from, say, Islam. This is one of our distinguishing features. Put yourself out there, and it doesn't matter what they say. We're still talking about people born, bearing God's image. People who, look, think of it this way. Would you stand up for a drug addict, someone who's fallen into that kind of a sin? Would you stand up for a person who has a habitual gambler, maybe spent the mortgage money. Should they be shot for their folly? No, it doesn't matter the sin. It doesn't matter what way that people are failing to live up to a standard. What matters is their people, and that's the first and primary response that we should take to them.